Yesterday, the Russian military released footage clearly showing the destruction of 4 American Bradley infantry fighting vehicles at once. These shots caused a heated discussion among representatives of the Western expert community. Experts and analysts did not hide their admiration for the decisive and courageous actions of the Russian fighter. The fact is that all these American combat vehicles were destroyed by a solitary Russian soldier. As it turned out, on May 30th, at 8 a.m. Moscow time, units of the armed forces of Ukraine tried to attack the positions of Russian troops in the most poorly protected place, in the Mala Tokmachka area, in Zaporizhzhia direction of the front. It is reported that events developed so rapidly that a fighter of Viking Spetsnaz, with the call sign Manul, decided to act immediately. He was well aware that if he continued to wait for help to arrive, precious time would be lost. The footage shows how a Russian fighter took an advantageous position and single-handedly began to destroy enemy military equipment using the Kornet anti-tank missile system. It is reported that in just 10 minutes, a Russian soldier managed to destroy 4 units of American Bradley infantry fighting vehicles. In addition, he also managed to destroy more than 20 Ukrainian soldiers. As a result of these actions of the Russian fighter, the units of the armed forces of Ukraine were forced to retreat. Watching the proceedings with deep interest, war correspondents did not hide their admiration of the heroic actions of the Russian soldier, who was not afraid to stop the enemy forces alone. War correspondents reported that they do not doubt that the Russian High Military Command will soon present this soldier to Russia's highest award for this feat. Against this backdrop, attention should also be paid to the statements of Turkish journalists. So, in their articles, the Turks admitted that the United States supplied Ukraine with 400 Bradley infantry fighting vehicles, half of which had already been destroyed on the battlefield by Russian troops. According to them, the United States is forced to send more and more of its tanks and infantry fighting vehicles to Ukraine, since the Ukrainian army has almost completely lost not only all Soviet-style armored vehicles, but also Western ones. Turkish journalists admitted that the armed forces of Ukraine, every day, lose dozens of armored vehicles on the battlefield, including tanks and infantry fighting vehicles. And it is this fact that forces Washington to significantly increase the volume of supplies to Kyiv not only of its infantry fighting vehicles, but also of battle tanks. By the way, the situation on the Zaporizhzhia front continues to deteriorate rapidly for the armed forces of Ukraine. Even though units of the Ukrainian army periodically try to attack the positions of Russian troops, the front line continues to gradually shift towards the city of Orikhiv. Moreover, according to the Ukrainian Telegram channels, the front line approached Orikhiv by 4 kilometers. This fact indicates that the armed forces of Ukraine continue to gradually retreat, even in the southern direction of the front. At the moment, in Zaporizhzhia direction of the front, Russian troops are trying to capture strategic heights located just 4 kilometers from the strategically important city of Orikhiv. If the Russians manage to capture these heights, then the defense of the armed forces of Ukraine will crumble like a house of cards, since the logistics of the Ukrainian army passing through this sector of the front will come under the control of the Russian troops. Against this backdrop, even Ukrainian war correspondents began to admit that the morale of even the most motivated soldiers of the armed forces of Ukraine began to plummet. A video also added fuel to the fire, where a Ukrainian officer admits that he would gladly join the Russian army and capture Kyiv, in order to put an end to this damn war once and for all. Unfortunately, after this video was published on the internet, the Kyiv regime arrested this officer and accused him of treason. Meanwhile, on May 29, 2024, the Russian military released new footage showing the destruction of another American Abrams tank. It is reported that this American tank was destroyed near the village of Karlovka, in the Avdiivka direction of the front. The footage shows how the extended-range guided artillery shell Krasnopol hits and destroys the American Abrams tank from a distance of 25 kilometers. This American tank was destroyed by Russian gunners of the 41st Guards Combined Arms Army under the designation center. Thus, as of June 2, 2024, the Armed Forces of Ukraine lost the 12th in a row American Abrams tank. At the moment, there are only 19 units of such American tanks at the disposal of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. However, everything may change soon. The fact is that German citizens began to spread footage across social media, where it can be seen how in the German city of Magdeburg, several military trains with American Abrams tanks are moving towards Ukraine. At the moment, there is no reliable information about exactly how many Abrams tanks are heading towards Ukraine. In addition, the Pentagon has not yet made official reports on this matter. Most likely, against the backdrop of catastrophic losses of armored vehicles by the Ukrainian army on the battlefield, Washington is simply forced to continue sending its tanks to Kiev, even knowing that these tanks turned out to be absolutely useless against Russian troops. The fact that Abrams tanks turned out to be useless on the battlefield was also recognized by Ukrainian tankmen during an interview with American journalists from CNN. According to them, American tanks are not adapted for conducting full-scale combat operations on the battlefield. In addition, they admitted that the armor of the Abrams tank is not able to provide effective protection to the crew. Ukrainians expressed disappointment that American tanks are capable of fighting only within the framework of NATO military doctrine, when artillery and combat aviation do all the main work on the battlefield, while tanks simply protect the advancing infantry. Thus, even Ukrainians have recognized that NATO military doctrine is ineffective against a strong opponent, who has a modern combat-ready army.